Hello, 7th grade math students. Today we're working on multiplying fractions. Okay? Multiplying fractions is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Remember that we are doing something that's a little bit different than adding and subtracting fractions this time. Quick reminder, if the signs of factors are the same, the product is going to be positive. So if we have two negative numbers or two positive numbers, when we multiply them, they're always going to be positive. When we have a negative and a positive, and they're different, it's going to be a negative answer. Make sure you put your name at the top of the page as well, please. So when I have my multiplication problem, I'm just going to write it out right now, just to show everyone. When I have a problem like this, I'm just going to simply multiply across the top, across the bottom. You can also rewrite it, so that way you know that it's 3 times 6 over 2 times 12. I know 3 times 6 gives me 18, 2 times 12 gives me 24. So my answer is 18 over 24. I know that I can reduce this so it's a little bit easier. I know that they're both divisible by 6. 18 divided by 6 gives me 3. 24 divided by 6 gives me 4. So I know 3 over 2 multiplied by 6 over 12 gives me an answer of 3/4. If I go down to example number 2, I can see right away I have a negative and a positive number, so I know my answer is going to be negative. I'm going to start by rewriting this problem. Now, anytime that we have a whole number like that, it's always going to be over 1. There's always an invisible 1 over underneath it because we can always put it over 1. That's when we know we have a whole number. So if I want to rewrite this, it's just going to be a negative 2 times 6 all over 1 times 10. Across the top, I multiply. Negative 2 times 6 is going to give me negative 12. 1 times 10 gives me 10. I can reduce this down by taking away a 10. Minusing 10 over 10 for a whole, which gives me negative 1 and 2/10. I know I can reduce 2 down by dividing by 2 and 10 down. So now I have negative 1 and 1/5. It's my final answer. We go down to our next question. I know that I have two negative numbers right off the bat. Okay, so I know my answer is going to be positive. So if you want to, you can just say that they're going to be positive, then you don't even have to worry about those negative numbers. Let's rewrite it. I'm going to rewrite my problem as multiplying across the top, across the bottom. 7 times 15 gives me 105. 9 times 20 gives me 180. I know this ends in a 5, this ends in a 0, so I know I can divide each by 5. 105 divided by 5 gives me 21. 180 divided by 5 gives me 36. I know that I can divide each by 3. To reduce it down even farther, 7 over 12. I know it's positive because I had two negatives to start. So today, for your practice problems, making sure we're multiplying across the top, across the bottom. If it's two positive numbers or two negative numbers, we're going to have a positive answer. If we have a positive and a negative, we know this is going to be a negative answer. Anything like this for us, when it says 5 over 6 times r, we just plug in what we have here. So this is actually just going to be 5 over 6 times 2 over 7. You have A through I to complete today. Pretty straightforward, nothing too confusing. If you're having struggles with this, make sure you rejoin the Google Meets or send me an email if it's outside of class hours. Thanks, guys.